And welcome everybody to a very special Playmakers. We are hanging out, vibing. We're gonna have ChewyStack on. Chewy said that they had a sweet giraffe onesie, and so challenged us to. Well, I took up the challenge. I don't think Chewy challenged, but TTao said he had the monkey onesie, and I've got Nyan Cat here with the rainbow flag. So we're vibing. How's it going, TTao? How you feeling, my friend?
Good. It's exciting to always do Tuesday doing this show. It's always a good time, and getting to hang out, like rock my outfits. It feels good, man.
Yeah. So cool. Well, welcome to. I think we're on week 5. Oh, Raijin.
Yes.
Raijin has ads.
Yeah,
Good way of getting around ads is subscribing. What's up, Echo Knight?
that's
What's up, Raijin? What's up,
yes,
Agent
yes,
Victoria? What's up, Muffle TV?
yes. We by the way, Raijin, we are going to be taking a look at sound systems for the commentary today. So it's we'll get to it. I think it'll be a good time. All
Um,
right.
cool. Well, TTao, what have you been up to? What have you been up to this week? Anything new you want to share with the folks?
No, I mean like right now, just exciting to see Challenger Cup. My man Techno and Havoc is in Masters. Got some controversy for sure, but it's love the dude still, even if he can be sketchy sometimes. But he's a good dude, and much love to him. So congrats to him on joining Masters.
For sure. Raijin, welcome back. Subscribing to the channel will get you away from ads, and we do love your support. Yeah, as we try and build out the infrastructure for this show. What's up, Force 101? Good to see everyone in chat. Yeah, we're vibing.
Yeah,
ChewyStack is on deck. Got the giraffe onesie ready. So
that's
yeah,
right.
I had a fantastic time casting the Challengers Cup and the Elite Cup this week, and yeah, we're gonna be showing you some stuff from Gen Z. ChewyStack in the house. Definitely, they didn't have quite the Challengers Cup that they were looking for, maybe. But still some absolutely phenomenal play. We've got some really cool
Absolutely.
files, some really cool clips to show you, some double stack meta, some combat boosting, some pretty patient offensive attacks. So looking forward to that. But without further ado, let us bring on the man, the myth, the legend, ChewyStack. Chewy, welcome,
What's
my
up?
friend. Welcome. Thanks for being on.
I'm excited to be here. Watch over what happened with CC. It wasn't like we didn't really get what we wanted, but with Klex getting injured, having to bring in a last minute sub, it was a little rough.
For sure. But yeah, let's sort of dive into it. How has Echo been for you? Challenger Cup, all that. What's next for you?
The goal is to hit master. That's been the goal since I started. Just keep grinding, see what happens.
For sure. On the topic of Masters, I think I was going through like the VRML stuff, and I think Team Not Found. I think I'm pretty
It
sure.
it was Seattle Beholders, and
Uh-huh.
it was like it was a lot of we were under contract, so we
I-
were under we left that team because just a bunch of legal reasons. We put the owner of the contract onto that team.
Sure.
I don't know why he changed the name, but that happened. So
That's
that's kind of in my past teams. Can't really change
yeah.
that.
On the topic of past teams, one of the main questions that a lot of people ask us when we have guests on a show is how'd you get started with Echo?
I remember getting a Oculus and I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to play VR chat, Beat Saber, all these like honestly boring games. And then my friend was like, hey, that like robot disc game came out. You need to go play that. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go play that. That'll be fun. And I like got to level 50 in like literally 3 weeks. And I started like dusting on everyone. And I was like, damn, I'm like kind of good at this. So I saw that VRML thing like in the lobby with the link. I looked it up, joined Discord. I got myself a team, it was like it wasn't even like a very like organized team. We kind of just got on, played our game, got off. But like I remember just seeing that, I'm like, dang, this is kind of fun. I started getting to know people. Then I was like, I need a computer. I need to get a CV1. So I got it. I got the whole setup, and that's where we are now.
For sure. You know, as you're mentioning getting started and just having the team, you know, was there really any memorable moments for you, like when you started Echo, when you sort of started competitive, where you like took it to the next level?
I think what like I'm gonna need to think about that. The only thing that I think is the most memorable about starting competitive is my old teammate BGD. That man was with me from season 2 to 4. He grinded with me. We learned together. We played together. We won and lost, but we all just stuck together. And then we kind of just went our separate ways. I think he I don't know if he plays the game much anymore, but not as much as I do, of course.
Sure. You know, just having that grind. And yo, what's up, Empty? Welcome. Yeah, man. So you know, the main questions that I'm having for you is, you know, as you're talking about, you know, all these different teams, Seattle Beholder before with your teammate, and also going, you know, Gen Z now, and the goal being aiming for Masters. You know, I'm really curious about, like, you know, how do you train? Like, how do you practice? Like, do you guys just scrim a lot? Do you solo practice? Do you like
It
what are you doing?
I think it can be all over for different people. So like some people might have like actual team drills. They just go into a private, do stuff. But like for us Gen Z, we mainly just do scrims, or that's honestly it really. Just I really just scrim with my team, and then that's it. Like maybe 3 to 4, maybe 3 to 6 scrims a week. On Challenger Cup week, we like to get in about like maybe 2 a day, just to get like see how we want to play against these teams, because it's important to have good mental. The mental part of the game is like almost just as strong as a skill, because if you have that one teammate that's like, oh, we're losing, oh, there's no way we're coming back, you're done. You're not winning that.
So as you're talking about the mental game and about scrimming, you know, I'm really curious, when you talk about mental game, like can you elaborate more? Is it like staying positive? Is it like something specific?
Yeah, I would say it's more of stay positive, and like you wanna, cause like if you're ever like playing at not pubs are out of this, but like you know, do you play scrims? Like, are you on a team?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so like you don't want to get negative. Like you don't want to be like, oh damn, they're up, they just scored on us, they're up by 6 points. You're like, oh, we're not gonna come back. You're not gonna come back with that attitude. Like you just kind of like start playing sloppy, and you don't want to like communicate. You want to be positive with your team, because one negative comment can completely ruin like the entire team's morale, and it's just like it's like a mood killer kind of. You want to just stay positive and like stay in the game.
So has it ever been a time where you're like you're in a match or in a scrim, you know, something happened, like how do you shift it around to bring it to be more positive? Like, is it like
There's always that thought like, oh man, we're losing right now, but one thing you need to learn is to like kind of just keep it to yourself. You don't want to put it on the other teammates, and even if like you do get negative, like if you think you're gonna lose, you want to be like, you want to just keep fighting till time runs out. That's my thing. Keep playing till the time runs out, basically.
when you say like keep fighting till the time runs out, like all I can think about is like Rocky Balboa's like Eye of the Tiger being played. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, man. Like if we weren't gonna get like muted if we play that song, I would 100% play Eye of the Tiger. But that's right. Yeah. So it's like what I'm hearing is like, especially during as you're playing scrims, as you're playing matches, staying positive. And I'm hearing it's like, if something, no matter what's going on, it's like fight till the end, right? That's what I'm hearing you say. And in terms of fighting to the end and all this kind of stuff that you're doing, I'm really, I guess the question that I'm having is, what advice would you say to some of the teams that are like, because I've scrimmed and I played against teams that get negative, they start yelling at each other or doing something if someone makes a mistake. I'm curious, like what will be your advice to someone like these other teams out there, like to stay more positive?
If you spend if you spend time with a team and one person is just negative throughout like a whole season, in my opinion, leave. But other than that, you want to stay positive. Like try to like it's okay to like if you want to yell at someone, make it in like a criticism tone, not as in like a friendly criticism. You don't want it to be like, dude, you're doing so bad, you just need to like just stop playing, why are you doing this? Try to make it like a learning moment more than a stop doing this, really.
Sure. Doc, you probably know about this. In my mind, everything that's coming up is like the criticism sandwich, where you give like positive feedback, you give the criticism, and then you end on a positive note. You know what I'm talking about, Doc?
I do. Yeah. No, I think that's a good strat. I think the important thing is to do it over time, like build up long-term relationships where people trust and like you can make
that's
a
what I was
small...
gonna say. You need to learn to not get mad at your teammates.
Yeah.
It's gonna help a lot.
Yeah, trust. Speak with positivity, and Thunderfoot. This is very serious. We're all in our finest formal wear, and we're very serious. But yeah, trust is super important, and I think it builds over time. It's tough because especially when you're in a competitive environment, you are trying to improve. Everyone's trying to improve, and so feedback is a part of that, right? Analysis is part of that. That's one of the reasons why I had the show. But I think doing it with fun, and you can lose sight of that. I'll admit, like end of season 4, when I was captain of Amoeba, like I was kind of in a grind, and like I think I kind of lost a little bit of sight of the importance of fun and like lightening the mood, and I just had a little too much critique coming out, and that's where you need a co-captain like my co-captain Hobbs, Spider Hobbs. He'd check me and he'd be like, "Hey man, the feedback is good, but like we gotta still have fun." And so like having that whole team chemistry, I think, is also super important.
Sure. In terms of team chemistry, then, Chewy, I'm curious. Was there, you mentioned, your teammate that you were playing with quite a lot before, right? Like, is there anyone on Gen Z that you have a lot of chemistry with?
Me and A Platypus are building a lot of chem lately. We're like, in scrims, we mainly practice on like, almost like, just knowing what we want to do when we want to do it for backstack. So like, whenever we see a dude doing a relay, we just immediately go towards the guy on the wall, immediately stun him, immediately clear. It obviously takes time, because I joined this team like a month and a week ago maybe, and just knowing that we play well together already helps, but some people just do not click with each other.
Sure. Not throwing shade at everybody else that's on the team. You just like A Platypus a little more.
That's not all, but I mean, like backstack wise, like Prometheus and Klex, they're the front stack. They know what to do. Me and Plat know what to do backstack. So it's more 100%. Of a work together with this person the most, kinda.
For sure. For sure.
We got a clip where that we're gonna see. I think maybe the second clip we got queued up where this happens. There's kind of an opportunistic regrab in the middle of the round, and there you go, Chewy's vibing. So maybe, what do you think, TTao? Should we check out some of these clips?
For sure. I think it'll be great. As you're talking about the backstack, we have some really good clips queued up, showing just like these boosting, these kind of like defensive plays and offensive plays, and I think it'll be really good for us to talk about today.
All right, for sure.
Cool. All right. So, get this rolling. So the first clip, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is where we're gonna be viewing some stacking action, double stack defense, I believe. So the way we do this, Chewy, we play it through once at full speed. I give it the dock caster call out, and then we rewind it and we analyze it from there. So
All right.
so here we have the play is running. It looks, yeah, just Gen Z is in blue coming out of the tubes here. We got ChewyStack and Platypus right there. We got some lines being drawn that we do not need. And on the other side, we got Click. This is from the Challengers Cup most recently, so just a couple of days ago. So here we go. Teams are gonna come out of the tubes, and Captain Will picks it up, and controls are a little bit. Well, they're working. Backstack is moving. Prometheus and Klex dodging Captain Will, keeping out of the way, adding pressure in the tunnel. Callan gets it off, but immediately throws down to Link. Link to Captain Will. Captain Will under pressure by Klex and Prometheus. They get the stun out and get the steal. And there's going to be a redirection here, and actually goes to ChewyStack. And that's all we wanted to see. Really was that that regrabbing stack action. So one of the things that I noticed right away that caught my eye about this one, which is why I wanted to take a look at it, is if you watch the front stack, and let's go ahead and put the spotlight on Klex and Prometheus here. If you watch these, come on, Echo Replay Viewer.
You know what? One thing I do want to mention is like as we're doing this week by week, man, we are pushing that TT defensive meta hard.
Everyone wants it. Everyone wants it, and it's pretty dope.
It's like,
but
it's
yeah,
working.
it's just showing. So there's a bounce off the bow tie. So the stack comes in, hits bow tie, bounces off to the Pac-Man, bounces from the Pac-Man over to the far part of the wall, evades that quarterback, and then keeps going. So Chewy, I know you're not in that stack.
Yeah, I didn't even know they did that, to be honest with you. But what it seems they're doing is, I know some teams can they'll be coming in and go straight to the enemy's left shoulder. It's kind of like a bait. Like you wanna make the QB think that you're going for you want to make the QB think that you're going for a stun, dodge them, make them throw, and then immediately just start chasing passes from there.
Yeah, and that's what you see here. Like it's really interesting because they're coming off the regrab, and they actually, I think it looks like they do a headbutt bounce off the bow tie there to redirect. And then once they come at the QB, you can see they're not even really going for the QB, right? They're intentionally going away from the QB. That way they don't get stunned out. And then they redirect here. The QB goes for them. Again, the disc is over in this area, but you'll see them go to the side of the QB and then redirect from there, so that they're just keeping out of the way of this pressure here.
They're making sure, because they don't want to pressure the person with the disc entirely at that moment, because if they were to get stunned, then the enemy team could just get a stack down and it would be nearly a 3v4. So it could be like they're kind of just waiting to see the options, and then they just pressure whenever needed.
I'm curious, this is a topic that comes up a lot, which is, how does a stack avoid leeches? And, we're seeing some of that, but I would love to hear some of your thoughts of, how does a stack avoid leeches?
So are you saying like if the leech is already on you, or if you're just trying to get around them?
Oh, so like the play that we're sort of seeing here, where they're baiting them, they're going to they're bouncing off a bow tie, they're avoiding getting leeched. I'm curious if you have any input on, stacks, how to avoid getting leeched.
Communication is key. Just know where, you want to call, immediately go to the right side of the QB, go to the left side of him so you can dodge him, or duck him, jump him. If you want to go high above him, call just stack high, stack low, stack right, stack left. and you're just praying that your stack partner basically just dodges him with you, if that makes sense.
It's like it's not just like, oh, you're stacked and just like pulling as fast as you can to get to the disc. You're actually having these communication and call outs as you're stacking, right?
Yeah, you want to like call like stack to the left of him, because if you just go straight into him, he's gonna grab you, he's gonna stun you.
Okay. And it sounds like the call outs are sort of directional, right? It's just like a general direction. It's not like you're it sounds like it's like a very fast call out. Do you guys call out early, I imagine?
Yeah, you want to call out as early as you can, but you also like you're not gonna pull like you don't want to pull too far left. Excuse me. You'll know, because whenever you pull too far left, then your teammate's gonna have to like straight up reach and grab you.
Mhm.
But if you just pull enough to where the guy, you know, he can't just walk and grab you, then you should be fine.
Okay. You're just trying to like skim past them.
Yeah.
For sure. You know, in terms of this play, and you know, we're sort of seeing the front stack pushing. You know, I would love to hear about, you know, what are your thoughts as back stack? Because I see you guys getting ready, and then you guys like push for it right before the turnover, right? So, if we can,
Mainly platypus will direct, so we'll kind of like stop up at bow tie or just anywhere, and we'll be watching the disc go by. We can hide behind bow tie, and like if we see it's a relay, like I'll be calling a relay, and we'll just go for that. It's mainly just like this is where the chemistry comes in. You just know what to do when you see it happen. Like if you see the loose disc, just go straight for it. If you see it slow, go for it. If it's gonna bounce, you know where it's gonna bounce. You just need to kind of have that instinct.
so I'm hearing it's like this is more like you're playing more on the backfield. You're playing on your side of the field, and you're looking for any opportunity to dive on the disc. Is
If
that correct?
they mess up, that's our I can't think of the word. If they messed up, that's good for us. I'll say that.
Yeah, for sure. Right. It's so it's, you know, and this is slightly different than, you know, some of the other plays that we've seen, where like someone would even post up on their side and try to like cut off pass, so they do like more of an aggressive 2-2. This is like the 2-2 where it's like you're waiting for that opportunity, correct? I'm curious what happens. You know, we don't really see it as much in this play because you guys do get the turnover on their trap, right? And you can see that, you know, you're set. You guys fly in and set up. You get set up on nest, and you guys are ready for the pass. I'm curious, what does the backstack in Gen Z do when enemy is able to move that disc through mid? Like, do you guys stay stacked for a while? Do you guys?
That's where it kind of comes in, as in like know where it's gonna bounce. Because even if let's say the disc was at orange double, they had an enemy at our left shoulder, and we were at bow tie. If he throws it, we would be able to read it fast enough and just pull up and grab it. But if we don't get it, we just go back home, get ready to set up a defense.
You know, now in chat there's actually a really good question from ABC Chew, which is, you mentioned before that, you know, when there's a relay, like as a stack, you and a platypus, the moment that you see that relay, you know, you're able to jump on them. You know, the question is, do you guys stay stacked for that, or do you guys split up and send someone to cover that relay?
So sometimes, like, we just scrimmed Tensor, and Matthew was like, as soon as he grabbed it on wall, he immediately started like juking. So we said, Platt said he's gonna send me out, and I'm gonna go get him by myself while he stays on back, because if he were to juke us both out, he would have had just an open shot, and we don't want to risk that. But most of the time, we are just normally stacked together.
So if it's like, you know, you got someone that's a little squirrely, then you should, you know, you got one person on them. But
Yeah,
otherwise, you stay stacked.
like you kind of, it's also a thing where like you need to see what the team does while you play them. Like you need to adapt to their play style.
Yeah, I think we'll actually see a good example of a relay play on, I think, either clip 2 or 3. So we'll get to it. So we'll see that. But Doc, I see you doing a bunch of stuff. Let's, you know, like, what are you thinking? Any input?
This is dope. This is dope. Should we bring in the heat?
right.
Yeah, no, this is excellent. Should we head to the next clip?
Yeah,
sure.
I think this next clip is really good. I think clip 2 is actually going to be perfect to talk about that, covering those relays. Or is that clip 3? We'll see in a second.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Pro
I
couldn't
don't
make
know that
this.
we have a relay set up.
No, one of them I saw was when it's a defensive stack. It's okay. We'll just go through the clips and then
Yeah, okay.
we'll get through it.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
All right, let me cue this one up. And
Yeah, Chewy, do you have anything to add on sort of that 2-2 defense?
Mainly just build chemistry with your teammate. Try to know what you need to do when you need to do it.
Sure. And when you talk about building chemistry and knowing what to do, do you guys do call outs, or is it more like you scrim enough and you know each other enough that it's sort of like almost automatic?
Both. I would definitely say both.
Oh, okay.
all right, so on this one, we've got a transition through mid. There's been a bit of back and forth. It's not really a rollout situation. And in this one, Click has the disc. They're moving it forward, and we see the Gen Z players are getting back, and we've got Chewy, we've got Klex, we've got Prometheus there, and we've got Platypus there. So basically all 4 players are in a line, and what you're going to see is these players getting into good position, and there's an opportunistic regrab that then creates a turnover. So I'll give the doc call out. So back pass in the hands of Link. Link under pressure by Platypus. Got to get rid of it quick. Captain Will. Oh, I got to do full time. Captain Will under pressure, delivers it down low. Stack getting together, Platypus and Klex adding some pressure in the mid court, adding pressure on Captain Will, gets it off, but there's a turnover. No, does get a hand on it. Link 1 though, back to Captain Will. Now the stun out. Platypus grabs the disc, clears it through. It's in the hands of ChewyStack, and the clear will be good. And I didn't get the full clip. Oh, that's no good. Chewy picks that up and gives a pretty nice mail slot. I don't know if you remember that one,
really?
Chewy.
I don't.
Yeah, I didn't get the full clip. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, you clear it and you boost, and you catch up to it like right about here and being a nice 3. But in any case, mostly what I wanted to ask you about here, Chewy, is Klex and Platypus. It's in the transition. This is not a set play, and coming through the transition, they are broken up, and then you see them get together and form this stack that ultimately creates the pressure that gets the turnover.
I'm glad you actually put this play in, because before this game started, we've played this team before. We knew we had to keep pressure on them, because whenever pressure is on these players, they tend to just panic and quick throw and all that. So literally every time we were on bubble defense, Pro or just anyone would call, get a stack and pressure, and it worked most of the time.
Dope. Yeah. So that was a strategy you guys had coming in.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, this is something, obviously running a stack in the half court is something that is a bit dangerous, right? If you don't add that pressure, then you can give up an open pass. But yeah, tell me, so you had the belief that adding pressure to these guys was the right way of getting them to make the turnover.
100%. Because we just knew that, like, right there at that pass that just happened, he was pressured too hard. He whipped the pass, and that caused almost a split second of like misinput, and that was an advantage for us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it causes Link has to adjust. It looks like Platypus did get stunned out by Captain Will right here. But Klex redirects, picks him back up immediately, and immediately Link is under pressure, has to give it right back, and meanwhile Prometheus has come up and gets the stun out on Captain Will right there. Can you talk about like maybe yeah, what is Prometheus thinking here as far as like going for that pass there?
I think where Prometheus is right there on Nugget, he's mainly, you can see on the minimap, he's kind of watching the cut passes that are possible. So he's kind of just sitting there waiting to see what happens. And if, like, what happened whenever the stack got to Link and they came back, he was just ready to go stun them. Because he knew that, like, right there, the disc flew and he went for it and he got the stun.
Yeah, so he's reading Link's eyes. He can see that Link is looking in this direction and not in the other directions, and so is immediately like, looks like he's actually jumping at the same exact time that the disc is coming out.
Yeah, it's all about reading the thrower. Because right there, he knew Will's only options were the opposite side. But if Prometheus did get stunned right there, and the stack got stunned, that would have been a 2-on-1.
Yeah. Nice.
So what I'm hearing in terms of like that running that stack defense on your half is, if you notice that the enemy team is like doing panic clears or panic passes under a lot of pressure, you know, like that's when you're like really dialing it up, right? Is there other situations like when do you guys decide to like play this sort of stack defense versus playing like zone or man?
Knowing the people, like once you're in the high diamond area, you play the same people over and over. It's the same thing as master. Like, you know how these people play, you know what you need to do to kind of counter them. So going into this game, we knew that they panicked under pressure, so like I said earlier, we just knew we had to keep a stack on them, and whenever we didn't was mostly the time that they would score on us, because their offense is good, but as soon as they get like just frantic, that happens. We get the stun, we get the disc, we get the clear.
That seems really good. I think there's one more defensive play that we're gonna take a look at.
Yeah, so this one, I thought this one is really interesting, Chewy, because this one shows some really interesting combat boosting, some nice little mechanical switches. So go back to the analysis screen. We'll share this out. It is an offensive rollout, but the offensive rollout isn't the main thing. Well, you'll see it. So okay, Gen Z on their offensive joust. Let's see what they elect to do with it. Prometheus with the disc, bounces over to Klex. Klex down to Platypus, can't quite get it. Disc in the hands of Captain Will. Captain Will looking to make the pass, does. Link 1 looking to make the clear. Clear not quite good. Prometheus gonna slap it right down, and it's gonna be picked up by ChewyStack. Oh, endered, stunned out, and scored. So I'm gonna put the spotlight on Chewy here. And wanted to show just a couple of things here because you guys get kind of like, I don't know, I wouldn't say sloppy, but there's a couple of little like inaccuracies that happen, and you guys recover well, and you fight through this this combat boosting area well. So if you notice, like, Platypus goes through here, elects not to go for Captain Will directly, but instead to come back for you. You guys get in a boosting situation, you get broken up, and you get the stun out on Captain Will with your shield there. Platypus comes back to you, so you guys fight through that combat situation. Then you get or Prometheus gets the disc and taps it. You immediately redirect off the verge there, and you're going for it. And right here is just you go to reach for it. You see Captain Will go for you, and you immediately just throw up the shield. You get the stun. Boom. Captain Will's gone. You pick it back up, and you deliver a rocket.
That's making me smile. That was just clean. So like, so as soon as our relays are fast, so like as soon as it goes to Klex, it's immediately to Plat, and it's just immediately down to me. As soon as I see Plat miss the catch, I'm like, oh crap, that relay just fumbled the entire play. So as soon as Captain Will gets that, Plat knows he's not gonna be able to get Captain Will in time, so I'm saying, Plat, come to me. So he immediately comes back to me. We go get the stack, and Link missing that clear was also just really good for us. Pro was able to catch that. He knew where to throw it where there was no enemies. He threw it down. Me and Plat stacked. We got that. Scored that. It's mainly back again where that's just kind of communication. Because if Plat did not come and stack with me, this entire play would not have happened.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're talking about right here, basically, Platypus has a decision to make. He can either go down and try and pressure Captain Will, or he can come back to you. It looks like, actually, he does start by cutting...
Yeah, you can see Plat going for Will.
And then you called to him?
Mm-hmm.
So then Platypus redirects and goes back to you. And then that starts everything that happens. Otherwise, as you say, Platypus is chasing air down here. Disc is already gone, and you would have been like here, and he would have been here, and just too much distance in between to create any pressure.
Yeah, once we get that stack together, it's kind of just like a game of tackle the man with a football. Just chase the disc.
Yeah.
And how do you, like, right here is an interesting one as well. So the first combat situation, Captain Will goes, dives, obviously gets a hold of you. Looks like you and Platypus have already broken up at this point because you release to go for a shield. You do get the stun with the shield, and then you guys are back together. What's going on there? Is there communication there, or like you just have to be, because like you're moving so fast, right? Like you can't really communicate, especially with lag. Is Platypus just like knowing that that's happening, or are you saying like I'm shielding, or like what's going on right there?
As soon as that happens, basically I'm just like screaming leech, leech, leech. So he's like looking, and we know that there's a leech on us, and I'm gonna be like, there's a leech on me, because you can hear when someone grabs onto you. So I'm gonna be like, leech on me. So I'm just gonna be shielding. There's nothing else you can do.
So you just shield. You're just holding the shield until you hear that they've been stunned out?
Rewind that. I think Platypus stunned him.
Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Plat did stun him.
Yeah, so you had the shield on, so he's not punching you, but then Platypus stuns. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly I don't even know how Plat did that, but I mean, good for him.
On that topic, which the question I was asking before, how to get rid of leech. So when someone's on your stack, what's the strategy? What's the move?
Like I said, like even if you have 4 people on a stack, like you shouldn't, but if you have a 4 stack, you just need to be screaming leech. There's a leech on us, and whenever that happens, sometimes I'll be looking back, and I'll be going for a stack, and I see that there is a guy about to grab my teammate's toes. I'm not gonna re-grab with him. I'm just gonna slap off of him. He can deal with it. There's nothing else you really can do. If that kind of makes...
Yeah, what I'm hearing is get what you can, and
and whoever the enemy stuns, that sucks for him. He's gone. But you just want to keep flying. Because if you get both stunned, then that's a 3v2 in bubble. That's not gonna be good. So you want to get as much people on defense as you can.
Sure. Okay, getting that slap. And I'm seeing we see this in this sequence, and we also see it in the next sequence where you're blocking, right? I'm really curious, how do you decide when to block? Is it just instinctual, or is there when I'm...
I hear someone that's not my teammate grab me, I'm just shielding.
Okay, so you're hearing audio cues.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I think isn't talked about enough, which is audio cues. Is it, because you mentioned it a few times.
You wanna, right there was more of a visual cue, I guess, because I saw Will in front of me.
For sure.
So for the leeches, whenever Will is coming up on me and he grabs me, I'm immediately calling to my teammate leech. There's a guy right on me, so I'm just immediately shield, because if I'm not, he's gonna stun me or Plat. So it's like it also goes back to like communication is key. If you don't know that that leech is on you, you're gonna get stunned, or your teammate's gonna get stunned. Your stack is gonna get broke. Like that's why I think it's like even a tip in the like whenever you're loading into Echo, it's like listen for people grabbing you.
Yeah. Again, I'm hearing the comms. You know, like what I'm really taking away from our conversation right now is the fact that you're talking about these comms in a stack, right? Which is like you're saying like stack left, stack right, stack up, stack low. You know, trying to communicate to the stack partner to avoid leeches. And also when you're hearing these audio cues or when you have a visual cue that they're about to leech you, you're saying leech to let the teammate know. Um, a lot of times what I'm seeing, you know, in pubs and in scrims and in matches, etc., is that when someone gets like a leech, you know, they don't say anything. They just, you know, they're just doing their thing and then they get stunned out. I'm just hearing a lot more communication during
Yeah,
some of these.
if you don't have communication, like that, you're really just at disadvantage. So like pubs, I personally don't even really talk in pubs. I'm just like chilling, listening to music. But scrims and games, it is key to have communication. If you don't, like, you're not gonna be able to tell your teammates where you are or what's happening, what you see. Like as a goalie, I'm not a goalie, but like I play goal sometimes. You need to call where the enemy is. Like you need to call left shoulder, right boot, high left, right low, under goal, above goal. Because if your team is facing forward and there's a guy under or above goal, they're not gonna see that guy. They're not just gonna go like, oh, what's behind me? And then there's like, they're not gonna look for that. They are looking for what they hear. They're looking for what they hear is where. I don't really know how to say it. Like, if you hear it, you just immediately go to it. So like if I'm a nest and my teammate calls, there's a guy left high, I want to move to where I can cover that pass where the guy is with the disc. So like if there's a guy at bow tie and there's a guy at left wall, I want to go to maybe like shield and cover that pass option. So you want to kind of like cut them off, so that's like a complete cut off of a pass option, and that it goes, and that does relate to like you need to know where people are, where communication is, and that's just it. Communication is the main key.
Sure. And now I'm curious, as we're talking so much about communication, do you have any tips for our watchers about how to improve their team's communication?
Don't be afraid to be loud. You you want to make sure your team knows what they need to be doing at that time. Um, if I don't really know, I don't think I really know many people that like just don't really talk in games, but like I know some people might just get pissed off and don't talk. Don't don't do that. It kills the team vibe. But like for wanting advice for communication, you wanna just it kind of just call out everything, like everything you're doing. Like, oh, I'm moving left ghost, I'm moving left shoulder, because sometimes someone might say, oh yeah, I'm left pack, and then they move to left shoulder. I'm expecting to throw it to left pack and you're not going to be there. That's a missed pass. So I like, you kind of just want to call everything, and what your team hears is what they're going to hear, basically. Like you want to be the caster for yourself, if that makes sense.
Hey,
Call out for Doc.
the personal caster. I like it.
That's right, casting. So, you know, this is someone that a previous guest brought up, which is communicating your intentions. Because of comms delay, like, I'm curious, how early do you communicate that you're gonna move?
So like if I'm at pack and I'm like I'm gonna move up to post, I'm gonna call it as soon as I let go and like slap myself off that geo.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So as you transition, you're like going to post. You're not
Yeah.
like You're not like getting to post. Like I'm on post afterwards, right? It's like you're saying
No, you want to call it as you're moving there, because that's basically how cut passes work too. Like if I'm at left ghost and my teammate's at like right high, I'm gonna call in, hey, I'm moving into post, and he's gonna call in, okay, cut. So I'm cutting from there, and it just makes a beautiful cut pass.
Yeah, you're saying it as you during the transitions, you're communicating those transitions. Awesome. Yeah. No. That makes a lot of sense. In terms of doc personal casting, like, do we have? Do you want to input on this one? Do you want to go into the next clip? What are you thinking, Doc?
Yeah, I think we got time. I think we got time for one more clip. It's a more of an offensive-minded clip, so I think it'd be good to get one in. It's pretty simple, Chewy. Nothing super, like wild here, but it does relate back to one of the community segments we had, I think, from a silver tier team last time, where we talked about how they could have paused on the station, and I forget who it was, but someone holds on the station for quite a long while, and it allows your team to get set up and makes a really nice easy score. So just
yeah.
Well,
Time wasting helps a lot. Like, if it resets, like, you always want to, that's where you want to be loud. Like, you were saying, like, if you want to, like, give advice to anyone who wants to help improve their communication, if you're gonna be at a reset, be loud. Resets are so good for time wasting and getting a play set up. So, like, pro will be like backline and call, like, oh yeah, I'm double diamond, we'll throw it there and then we'll get set up, and if one person pushes out, then we have one of our open teammates, and then that causes a walk-in. So, like, resets are really good for setting up offensive plays.
all right, well, let's do it, and we'll do our thing. So, disc in the hands of Link. Link attempts the clear, but it gets picked up by Klex. Klex with the disc, not under any pressure, holding, waiting. Elects to make the back pass. It's going to be held onto. Slowly moved up. Now over to Platypus. Platypus, top pocket, puts it right in for the tie.
Doc, we can't see it.
Doc, slight freeze.
Oh no!
No, I'm sorry.
That play sounded dope, though.
Yeah, it's not dope. We're still hearing. We're still watching right now.
I got you. All right.
There we go. There we
It
go. Now we're
should be
good.
on now. All right. All right. Let me refresh it. Rewind it.
Rewind it.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So Link with the disc, looking to make the clear, does. Oh no, Klex flying in, moves up to the cloud, under pressure by Callan, passes back to the station, holding, waiting, now moving, delivers over the left side, Platypus, onto the post, top, pocket.
Okay, so what I saw from that, as soon as Klex and Prometheus were backline, and as soon as Klex caught that disc, he moved up and he saw that there was a defender straight pressuring him, and he knew, even though Pro was behind him, he knew that Pro was still at station because Pro was loud. He was communicating with the team, so he threw it to Pro, and then as soon as that happened, Plat was like, hey, I'm open, because you can see, pause right there, whoever is by Klex just left Platypus to go pressure him, but Chuck Not Norris is also right. Chuck was also pressuring Klex, so that's two open people leaving Platypus, and then you can see Link is just staring into my soul. So Chuck is going wherever he's going. We got the goalie in. Link's gonna try to pressure me, but Prometheus sees Plat's open. Yeah, look at that. Chuck is going for me, or he's going to the right side nest, and Plat's just wide open. And that's another thing why, like, resets are so good. It leaves an open person most of the time.
Now, in terms of the communication for that, it is, during that play, is Prometheus like calling out for the reset on station? Like, what does the call out sound like?
100%. So, like, as soon as he sees Klex moving up, Pro knows that he wants to stay back for a reset. So as right there, Klex is moving up and he sees that defender. Pro is just screaming. He's like, reset, I'm cross station, and then that's really it. Like, you just need to call where you are, so Klex knows. Like, Klex isn't looking at him at all, but he sees that defender, so he's immediately gonna back pass it.
what I'm hearing is like you got to be really vocal as the reset option. Like it's just
You need to
really
let
call
your
it.
team know that you're there. It's really crucial.
Sure. Now, in terms of this reset and then moving, like going onto the left side, right? You mentioned a minute ago that when you reset, it tends to leave one person open. Can you talk a bit more about that?
Um, so right here it wasn't really a good example, but most of the time, like, so I can't really explain it with this clip, but like
Sure.
sometimes right here, Pro would catch it at station at the reset. Klex would be like where he is, I'm where I am, Plat's where he is, and they would send one defender to the reset to pressure. So that has a basically a 3v2 kind of, because you have two defenders defending the bubble and then the goalie, which is the third, but he's not really going to move because he doesn't want to leave an open goal. So if someone pressures that reset, there's going to be 3 open passes, or at least 1 open pass.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to explain this the cleanest way I can.
Yeah.
So
What I'm hearing you say is like because the goalie's in net, right? He can't really move. When someone
can't really
pressures,
defend. Yeah.
when someone pushes up to pressure the disc holder, who's the reset, they only have 2 defenders, and there's three offensive on the field, right? So
Correct.
it's like those 2 people can't cover all 3 if everybody's positioned correctly. Oh,
Correct.
Apologies. Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up our last little clip here because I think this actually does show that pretty well. It's more of an individual movement, but disc bounces over, Klex in the area, gonna go slowly moving up, does get under pressure by Callan and Chuck, delivers it over to Prometheus. Prometheus now juking, waiting, holding, baiting, pulling out the defense, now going backwards, pulling Link all the way out of the bubble now. And now that the spacing is there, pass is good, right there to Klex for the score.
Yep, exactly. That was a perfect play for that. He pulled the defender out, it left Klex open, and he scored.
And this is something I think doesn't happen as much in the lower level, where someone would just, they would throw the reset back, right? And then the person would just throw as a pass, right? What I'm sort of hearing from you is like, once you get that reset, if that reset person draws someone out, you're almost always going to have an advantage unless they leave open net.
Yeah, what we did, I'm gonna go back to playing Tensor. They always had that one stack that would just keep pushing and pushing, and if Pro threw the disc and stunned that stack, then it's a 1v3 almost.
Yeah. And that's sort of like the danger of running that stack defense on your half, right? Because if that stack gets caught, it's a little rough.
Learning that can be a habit to learn though, because like I used to never want to reset. I used to just be like, nah, we can walk it up, it doesn't really matter, and then it just wouldn't work. But some people just don't think that it needs to happen, but it definitely does. Like anybody watching the stream, you need to know resetting is very crucial to getting a good offensive play, because if you think like, oh, we gotta score, we gotta go do this, you don't. Unless you literally have 10 seconds on the clock, there is so much time that you could use. So you want to use that time to your advantage, but you also want to make smart plays out of it.
Yeah, getting that reset for sure. Yeah, this is great. What I'm hearing a lot is, working that communication, working that reset on those offensive plays. I'm hearing a lot of stuff that, if implemented well, it's effective at pretty much any level of play.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we got folks in chat loving the onesies. This actually is Liz the developer's onesie that I'm vibing on. So yeah, thanks for spurring the onesie show. I am hot.
I'm comfortable right now,
I am getting hot in this thing.
Doc, it's because you have like Now, this is not, I'm not sure how much we're gonna talk about that on this show, but dude, you got some fur going on. So you're fucking hot. Dude, I got like a fan blowing on me. It's nice. This is like perfect
fan.
for
I'll
like
turn on a
winter.
fan on our break. So in fact, I think we should take our little break. We're gonna take a couple minute break, reset here, get a little bit of water, and then we're gonna come back with some community segments. TTao, what do we have set up?
We have sound systems. So Raijin in chat, we're gonna see that. Nolan FK is the one that sent over the clips for us to review today. So we'll be taking a look at some of those plays. We got some questions about offensive joust and some questions about I believe about bubble offense, but I'll double check on that. But yeah, it should be some good questions. Oh yeah, okay. So the two main questions that we're going to be going over is talking about offensive joust. And Chewy, you mentioned about the relay, right? So we might ask you a few questions about Gen Z's relay and about your thoughts on the like a good relay, right? And the other one is when there's like a turnover, like how do you take advantage of a turnover? And we saw Gen Z like convert those turnovers into goals during the last few plays. So just a few questions about that. We'll watch some plays and see that in action.
All right.
Sweet. And of course, we will start with the steez of the week. So that'll be fun as well. So all right, everybody, chill out and chat, have fun, enjoy yourselves, get a little snack, get a little water, whatever you need, and we're gonna be right back in just one moment. All right, you're clear.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the
And welcome back, everybody. Hanging out with our good friend ChewyStack. We got the onesie set up. Still rocking it for you. And you know what time it is? It's time for the steez of the week. So Chewy, if you're not familiar with this bit, we choose a play from a recent VRML cast, and we do it up. We show the steez. So this is from Rush versus G2X, and we'll play this up.
Geo. Right now it's anyone's disc.
So,
but G2X
attempted clear gets picked up. It's going to be Bardstar moving up, delivering it down in disc in the hands of Salty. Salty back over, now down to Bardstar. Bardstar, top of shield, bottom shield, side of the shield, pump fake front, and the slam from behind. Wow. Bardstar showing off.
Anyone's disc. But G2X
100%. Just that, what I really like about this clip is just the wiggle. Just the wiggle. As he's coming in, you can see the goalie's just going like, oh, is he going to shoot? Is he going to shoot?
Is he going to make it in?
And slammed him from behind. Goalie was stunned, and that was just a fantastic play, I think.
Yeah, that was great positioning from Rush right there.
Resets it right over to
And actually, I think that that one goal brings him into the lead for this round, by the way. So this is a very, very, very good goal. All right. So, welcome, Savannah. We have our next segment we're going to be talking about is community. So hopefully we got Raijin up in this place. We got Nolan, FK. I believe Nolan and Raijin. Oh, something super bright.
Who uses light mode? You psychopath.
What?
All right.
Did I flash someone?
Yeah, Doc, I think flashed true, but no, I think they actually have. I think they have a scrim at this time. I'm pretty sure. I mean, that might be why they might not be here, but it's okay. We're gonna be taking a look at sound system and just getting some tips from ChewyStacks to share some wisdom and give us.
Are we going in order here? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, just 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm loading up clip 1 now.
Yeah, the first question, we'll have Doc with light mode. We'll have Doc, do the casts, and the first question that we have is, on some of these turnover attempts, how do you keep possession? How do you convert on as defense? Okay, they get a missed pass, you get a turnover. What do you do? That's sort of the main question. We'll be taking a look at some gameplay, and then we'll get some tips from Chewy.
Alrighty. Alright, so here we go. I have not seen this before, so again, an original Doc call out. Disc is on the nest. It's gonna be okay. So we've got Psychotic. It looks like this is I forget what team that is, but on the other side, you said it's
I believe it's sound system.
Raijin's team.
Yeah, Raijin. Nolan is the person who sent us the clip.
Okay, all right, and here we go. So teams in blue. Okay, Princess Claire with the disc, passed over to Psychotic. Psychotic dipping down, tries to pass to Glass, but disc is now loose. Backstack comes flying in. The tap is good though. On the back line, Nolan picks it up, now delivers it in. Pass is a little bit off, and it's going to be in the hands of Psychotic, tapping it back to Princess Claire on the satellite. She attempts to clear, but she can't quite get it. Now the disc is back and forth. Back in the hands of Princess Claire, now in the tubes, now there's another turnover. So some furious action back and forth here. And is that about where you wanted to see TTao? Or you want to...
That's perfect. As you can see, there's a lot of turnover attempts, right? There's like turnover.
You can see that Orange is panicking because they got 20 seconds left.
Yes.
And they're just struggling to get the disc out, keep getting turnovers, and I mean, that's just unfortunate for them, really. They could not get clear off.
The main question, what we want to look at is blue side, which is, they're able to get some of these turnover attempts, as you can see. But, they're, for whatever reason, they mentioned every once in a while they'll get like a scuff pass. Or then they would love to hear from you, when your team gets possession, like how do you make the most of that possession on these turnovers?
So, let's see. On this right here, is he gonna grab it or it keeps going
Yeah,
through?
he's gonna grab.
Okay, so right there, you want to be calling where your stack is going. So like, you want to try, like, I don't really see any open players for blue side. You can see on the minimap, they're all bunched up in one area. That's not very good if you want to try to get to the other side. But you want to be calling like where you're gonna go, where you're gonna be, or sometimes if the stack grabs a disc, if there's a stack and someone else has a disc, my bad. You want to call like stack, oh yeah, I'm going left shoulder, and then like Platypus would be saying, oh yeah, I'm going right boot. So we're gonna be going so fast, and Prometheus or whoever is just gonna throw it to left shoulder, and by the time the disc gets there, we'll be there. But you also want to just make sure your positioning is good, because this bunch up has a lot of, like, everyone's just clustered. That's really, it's not very ideal to get the disc through all that.
So it's not just like the disc holder's job, but when there's a turnover, the rest of the team needs to start being like very vocal on comms and saying where they're open.
Oh yeah, 100%, because like if you're just gonna, if you have the disc and you don't call, let's say Prometheus has a disc at double, me and Plat are coming in from from blue floor and we're gonna go right. If we don't call that we're going right, Pro doesn't know where to go throw it. He's just gonna throw it, and then we're struggling to get to the disc fast enough. So if you're calling where you're, like, that goes back to where I was saying, like, call where you're gonna be.
Where you're gonna be. Sure.
Yeah. And Chewy, what do you think about this? To me, the biggest chance in all this, because there is a lot of back and forth, but that's because I mean, there is a lot of pressure being added by both teams. The biggest moment for me is this moment right here, where Nolan has the disc, not under any pressure. And maybe the best thing to do right here, tries to deliver it in to the player, but maybe a better thing to do would be to kind of like juke on the floor, maybe go a little bit to the side and like check around, kind of do a 360 look at where any kind of like pressure is being added, because then that would allow them to notice like this is the nearest player and they're a good amount of distance away. So if they can create a little bit of time, that will allow these players to break up, maybe allow one player to go over into the tube, maybe another player to go down into like this area, maybe allow another player to go like down into this area. And so now you have different passing options open, from this space.
Personally, if that was me, I would have just like completely chucked it into right tunnel. But if your team is kind of struggling with positioning, I mean, yeah, that could be a good idea where you just want to like move it back it up, where like kind of where Prometheus we saw earlier, he got to roof, he backed up, pulled Link out. That's a good thing you can do. But yeah, try to make sure that your team is you want to know where you're gonna be. You don't want to just go where you like, I don't know how to say it. You want to know where you're gonna be so you can set up something good that you want to set up. So like just remember to call, I'm going high left, I'm going here, I'm going there. But Nolan at the QB, it could be smart for him to back up and kind of just let the team get an offensive stance getting going.
So what I just heard you talk about was, like, you said something about setting up, like, for those plays. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
So Nolan right now, as he's at floor, if that were me, I would be calling like, hey, someone get open, get to left, get to right. Y'all are all bunched up. Like, you, as the person with the disc, you want to be calling what you want your players to do, because the QB sees everything that you don't. So it's kind of even like football. Like, you might think you're open for a pass, and then you just get trucked by some 6'4" dude that you never saw. So like, the QB needs to have a lot of communication just as much as the receiver.
So again, on some of these turnovers, right? Team needs to call out positioning where they're open, and then QB also needs to be just giving general call outs of like spread out or go left for me or go right or
Yeah,
like
calling
stack
you're
up.
bunched up will also help them be like, oh yeah, my bad, let me get to a better spot.
For sure.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so
This is
maybe even like, yeah, right here, there's an opportunity for Knight and Dark to get into a regrabbing stack.
That was probably Dark's mistake not calling him because Knight was just floating and he didn't really look back for the stack.
And then once they get going, especially maybe once Dark sees that Knight is going forward, maybe Dark could cut off and they could meet up, the pass could meet up like here, right?
yeah, instead of both going down mid, they could spread out a little more.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hearing.
yeah, that is what should have happened, but it also goes back to just it could be miscommunication or just no communication at all.
Right. And again, we'll talk more with them later. They'll give me some feedback. It's like, during these comms, are there call outs of where the open passes are, right? And are you guys still bunching up because of the comms, or is there like, a mistake in comms and that's causing the bunch up?
It can be all kinds of things like no communication or the wrong type of communication. Because like sometimes I'll be like going nest, but Klex is also going nest, so I'll be like, all right, I'm going left shoulder, and then he'll go like shield. So it's all just like being aware of your surroundings visual wise. Like you don't want to just float to where your teammate is, but you also want to be like, hey, I'm gonna go here, you go there.
Yeah, this is perfect. I think this will really help. I think this is really good advice for some of these teams, especially like about not just the disc holder calling out, but when there's a turnover, the rest of the team needs to be set up and giving call outs. I think that's absolutely key. In terms of that, is there anything else you want to Doc? You want to add in on this specific play?
No, this is good. Should we move on to the next one?
Perfect. So the next two are sort of related. So we have one is a successful relay that turns into a goal, and then the other one is an unsuccessful relay. And you mentioned, Gen Z having that relay, so just getting a bit of tips from there. And also, if there's any recommendations on offensive joust, so you have possession, what you guys like to run and what you recommend for these teams and for the people that watch our show.
All right.
Yeah,
All
so we
right.
can take a look. I think clip 2, I believe, is a successful relay.
All right, so we'll
And then we can watch it.
We'll set this
We'll
up.
watch both.
So
Yeah.
we've got the blue team moving up. Nolan with the disc delivers it to the right side. Looks like a right relay. Oh, they get stunned out, but the pass does get cleared. Disc now passing low. Knight with the strike from below. What a return. Very beautiful right side relay. All 4 players touching it. Beautiful passing, even under pressure. Dark VRP gets the pass off. UGN Glass putting a lot of pressure on, but Knight too much from below. Psychotic, no chance.
Yeah, and this is actually really good if we just go right into the next clip where then it's an unsuccessful relay. I think so you can see like, well, this is perfect.
I mean, or just,
Yeah,
just
I
move on to
don't-
the next
I-
one.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about that.
Yeah.
That was just a great play.
Yeah, it was just a really good relay. So now we go on to the next one, and you'll see like it sort of gets a little scuffed.
Okay.
And the question for Chewy is like,
Before we move on, I'd just like to say, I think the real MVP of this, I mean, everyone plays well, but the real MVP of this one is Dark. Dark gets the disc and gets it off pretty quickly, even though it's a right side relay, so they do have to collect the disc in their right hand and turn around and get the pass off. They do get the pass off quickly enough. If Dark holds on to this disc for a split second longer, it's just a stun out and a steal, right?
That is really risky though, how he's just kind of floating in the middle of tunnel. Because if he did take any longer, he would just be floating. Like he's pretty far from any like grabbable geos or walls or just anything.
So on that note, how would you set up that relay? Where would you say the best setup position is?
I'm pretty sure like lip would be good. Lip is what we call like not. It's like the outer edge of tunnel, right by the wall.
Yeah, right where you see like the crisscross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
So a little bit, almost, maybe not right there. If you moved it a little bit to the left, where it's like almost in the tunnel, because right there you have, yeah, that's a good spot. Because if you have too hard of a, if you're like too far close, if you were to turn and try to get that pass off, you'd almost be like throwing it into the wall.
So basically, right on this corner where you have full view of everything.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
And
Okay.
again, we'll also talk about this relay as we go. But if we launch into the next clip, it'll be good to. I just wanted to show an example of a successful relay from the team and also a relay that was unsuccessful, and just hear from Chewy, like what's the difference that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. I think we've got.
Blue section.
We've got it up. Yep. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll do the same thing here. So we've got an offensive relay coming out of the tubes. Time counting down. Doc waiting. Now the teams are out. It's going to be picked up by Nolan again, delivered down to the right side. Dark with the tap out, passes over to Ryzen. Ryzen gets stunned out though, and now that it's clear, all the backline player though, Nolan picks it up, tries to deliver it in, but there's no one home. It looks like it's going to be Glass in the area. Glass getting stunned out, but getting the tap out. Now the clear is good. This is going to go all the way back to mid, and that's where the clip will stop.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can go.
No, it's very similar to the last one, as you can imagine. Same side right tube relay, but this one they were stunned out from the stack. Leading that relay.
This was on defense. This was the good defense. You can see how they're not going for the first pass. They know it was a relay, so they're going straight for the second pass. They knew where that was going. Well, I don't understand that. But like they're doing
all four.
They're doing what they do.
Well, they read it. They did get the turtle.
So it wasn't like, I'm not like trying to be like this. It wasn't good defense, but it was lucky because if I don't know how to say his name, Rajan got that pass off, that's a wide open goal.
For sure. I think the defensive backstack also read at the same time. I think they launched at the exact same time, and that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, that could have been really risky.
But overall, in terms of the relay not getting off, right? Like, I would just love to hear from Chewy about like what's a good relay, and like what are some things to avoid during a relay?
What you need to avoid is having miscommunication, because like sometimes for relays with Gen Z I go cross low. So like I need to let Platypus know if he has time or he doesn't have time. Like if that backstack is on him or not, he'll immediately, like without even looking at me, he'll just slap it back.
So I'm hearing again comms, and the person that's deep should be communicating the play, like whether it's like you have time green, or if it's like you have very little time red or yellow, like that kind of call out.
Yeah, you need to, because Rajan right here, he had
it like half a second maybe, right?
Yeah.
If he got a red call out, right?
If he had a red call out, he would have just immediately thrown it right there.
Yeah, if he stopped it.
But you can see as soon as he turned, he saw the people, so I would assume that whoever's cross didn't really call anything, and he just got whacked by the other team right there.
Yeah, that's right. Because he does have enough time to launch off Geo, right? There was enough time for him to slap.
He does have enough time to launch off and throw it, but with the teammate most likely not saying anything, he didn't know. So he just kind of...
Yeah. So I'm hearing for like good relay, person deep is going to be communicating.
Yeah, and that another thing, like against these high level teams, I'm always assuming I'm under pressure. You always want to assume you're under pressure. So like if I don't get... Like, even if I'm green, like if I'm good for a whole little 10 seconds, but I don't get a call that I'm okay, I'm throwing the disc as soon as I get it, because I'm assuming there's just someone on me. That's where communication comes back in. Like your teammates need to speak to you about what you might not be able to see.
So, yeah, it sounds like you're even when you have disc and you have possession, you're just you're like very wary, like you're assuming that there's going to be a stack coming.
100%. Cause like Rajin, what I don't know how to say his name, man.
Raijin, I think is how you say
Raijin.
it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
He was not looking behind him, so he had no orange players in sight. So it wasn't all on him for not being able to get that pass off.
Sure. This is the situation where you're mentioning like getting tackled by that like 6'9" like from the back.
Exactly.
This is why you're getting sacked by like 4 people just bum rushing him from the back. Yeah. So so the comps in terms of relay, one of the questions I have for you, Chewy, is how fast should a relay be? Is it like pass, or is it like you keep possession for a little bit? Like what?
Okay. Well, every other team does it different. I'll tell you that. Like some teams just go bam, bam, bam as fast as they can, but like you want to get that first pass off as fast as you can and try to get it to the person at wedge pretty fast. But once you get to wedge, you can that's where the communication comes in. Like you're red, you need to throw it, or you have time. Let's get an offensive play set up. Let's let our QB get to a reset if we need. So that's how relays can be all over. Because if you have time, like if you have a 6-point lead, you really shouldn't be running relay because it's more of a fast play. But if you know that relays work on this team, because like I think it was Havoc, we just killed them up with relays every time. So relays work on different teams, relays don't work on different teams. You need to, that also goes back to knowing how to adapt to the team you're playing.
Sure. Yeah. Again, sort of reiterating the point, the first pass should be fast, QB should be fast, right? And probably the second pass too should be fast, from tunnel to the like the setup on either wedge, Pac-Man, or like the deep person, right? And then the cross person needs to be communicating where, like, what the state of the play is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. That makes a lot of sense.
This person can see that their teammate's about to get whacked.
Oh yeah, that he should have called that. I mean, maybe he did. Maybe Raijin is just like a little not cooperating that much. Who knows? It could just be a bad day, but
Sure.
that communication from Knight needs to be there, because Platypus is the one that catches it at wedge for us. I'm like yelling at him like, okay, you have time, or I'm gonna say that backstack is about to grab you, and he just slaps it. Even if it doesn't come straight to me, it's not at the enemy.
One last little thing I'll add on this play. Once they do get the stun out, the clear is no good. Nolan is there. I don't know if Nolan could have held on to that Geo without and grabbed it. If so, would have been good to hang out. But in any case, they do get to the bow tie, and they're not under any pressure. In fact, they can see Psychotic and Princess Claire are turning around to go the other way, and this player down here is stunned out. Nolan moves down and dumps it in before their players can really get in position. Dark is kind of is doing, I think, a decent job looking to get into position over on the left side. Maybe goes a bit too far back.
Yeah, Dark was doing the right thing right there. He wanted to go back for a reset, so because he look at the minimap right now. Everybody is literally in the distance of 3 geos. So whenever he goes back, he was hoping to do a reset most likely and let his team get into a good offensive play, but that didn't happen right there.
Yeah.
So
sort
if Nolan could maybe hang on, even just hang out on double diamond, wait could go back. This jump is not so bad. They could hang out on the floor here and maybe look to pass to Dark over maybe on station, or Dark goes even further. But that would be a good time to like wait and then bait the defenders while your other two players spread out on down to the floor, maybe one there and like one there, or just spread it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sort of, this is going back into the clip that we first saw, and what I'm hearing is some of these turnover attempts, the person who gets a disc, it sounds like they should keep longer possession, so that it gives the team time to set up and like spread out, because it seems like there's a lot of clumping when there's a turnover, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
need to get the positioning and communication up.
Sure. Now, one sort of last question is, for some of these teams who have, let's just say, a more limited offensive joust. So you have possession of the disc, right? Enemy team just scored. You have possession of the disc. What plays would you recommend for, let's just say like bronze to gold or something like that, right? Like not super high. What would you recommend be in their repertoire of plays? Like, I know relay.
Ranks don't even matter about plays, because like Gen Z, we run split, we run relays. Those are all just default plays, but you can make any plays that you want. I'm gonna give y'all a play that I used to use because I'm not on that team anymore. It disbanded. It was left cloud on our side, right pack on our side, and then low mid. So as soon as it went to left cloud or right pack, wherever it went, that person would have a chain most likely come after you. He'd throw the disc, stun that chain as best as you can, and immediately try to get a stack up, clear, boost, and that would be the play. But it doesn't really matter about like what plays I could give you. You wanna make plays that are like fat. You want a fast play, you want a slow play, you want play to waste time, you want a play to get down the field in like 5 seconds. I remember last season we played Florida Laser Sharks, and they had one play. It was like a shovel. They had literally 10 seconds on the clock maybe, and they scored on us for overtime. And I was like, what the hell? But they did it. Like, you just need to have plays for certain times. And then it also goes back to adapting to the team you're playing. You want a play that will counter their defense.
Oh, just so I want to sort of get this clear, right? In terms of what would you say like are the general broad categories for teams should have? So options, right? A fast one, a slow one, and a play to waste time. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, you want to try to have like relays and splits are good, and then you can like even make a split like traps and then high mid, or like tunnel right cloud right low on their side. So it could be like a right cloud our side, left tunnel theirs, left tunnel, and then right low on their side. So it's like a mixed relay kinda.
Yeah.
So like I don't really know. You kind of just want to make what works well with your team, and like, okay, they're running a zero right now. They're having one pressure and they're double stack. So you want to play that would counter them. So if you know there's one player back, like AE Ash, they just disbanded, which sucks. They were really good. They ran a split defense, which was so weird for that high level gameplay, but it worked so unbelievably well. Like, we could not beat them. It was stupid, and it worked. But you just want to try to get plays that you'll know will counter this certain kind of defense, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, the one problem is I don't think there's enough information in the community of like what counters what. You know what I mean? Like, there's not that established of like this is like the rock paper scissor of a joust. If you could elaborate a bit more, I would love to hear it, because like we got to talk with someone on AE or Ash and talk about that split defense like this.
Yeah. So like double stack. That's the meta. There is
Mhm.
no other meta, and I don't know when there will be. I don't know if there ever will be another one. But like, so let's say they're running. Let's say they're running a zero. So that's one person's pressuring QB. They have stack at double, so they want to have that one person pressure the QB. QB panic throws because there's a guy on him. That stack would immediately chase it. So what could be a good play for that though would be a relay, because there is no back stack on their side. So if you get a relay off, then you'll have a straight dime down and it's a 1v1 on the goalie. If they're running a split defense, relays could also work again. But for double stack, you wanna I don't even know. Like, I never really thought about this, honestly. For double stack, which most teams run, you kind of want to bait them out. So if you want to like waste time, throw the disc, stun their stack, and then get a stack from your team down to their side, you will have almost a 2v2, 3v2. You just want to try to get that stack stunned out. You want to try your best to just get any stack out, basically, because without the double stack, there is no double stack meta.
Yeah. So one thing that I remember Sir Dimmu was talking about, this was like a little while back in like the 3-minute meta series that he was doing. I remember he was like saying like, you got like the standard split, you have like a fast play, you have like a split play, you have like a chain breaker play, which is designed to like break stacks, right? And what I'm really hearing is you want, as you're developing these plays, right, and as you're talking about these plays, especially with the teams before and Gen Z now, it's like you want to have something that's going to counter the team. It sounds like it's all very adaptive, and it's not like you run one thing every single time.
Oh yeah, each team, like some teams we might not run a certain play, but on the other team we'll run that play each time. Like you want to, like what we do, what Gen Z does, we run a split normally first play, see what their defense is, and we're like, all right, we need to run split traps. All right, we need to run relay. Like, it's a needing to see what they're doing to counter that, if that makes sense. And every other team has a different thought process. Like, what I'm saying doesn't count for everybody else. Like, Ignite, I have no idea what they do. They're just good at the game. But like. Dude, we scrimmed Instinct the other week, and like playing them, my mind was like blown by how good they were doing. Like I didn't understand. Like we could not counter them. They mercied us. Like they did. It was insane. But every other person's thought process for like defense and offense can be different, and other people's can work, other people's don't. But like it's 2v2 double stack is the meta. There is no other meta right now.
Yeah, I think I have a good grasp of something, which is, if I could summarize, and let me know if this sounds about right, okay, Chewy?
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is you first run like a split to sort of test their defense, like what do they do, right? And if they don't have a backstack waiting, then a relay works really well. That's what I'm hearing, right? If they do have a 2-2 and they have a stack and they're like stack heavy, I'm hearing you want something to bait them out, and you want something to stun them and have your stack be ready to boost down, right?
Correct.
So they're stack heavy. You want to do like some kind of chain breaker style, like something to brawl them out, right? And then I'm also hearing is like the slow play. Like in what situation would you want to run more like a slow play?
You got a lead on the board. You have about 2 minutes left. You just want to waste as much time as you can, and that's where resets come back in. And another thing for like the chain breaker play, something that can work, you want to get the chain to where they don't just have like an open lane to just stack to the other side. Like you want to try to physically make, like if you don't stun them, you want to try to make them hit another geo or mess up their stack, if that makes sense.
So you're saying like, so during chain breaker plays, you want to position so that there's no lane for them to go back.
Yeah, because if you can't stun them, you want to like make them have to maneuver or just kind of like slow them down.
Okay.
But everything else is like perfect.
Yeah, either leech or like try to like slow them down with like zoning them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Okay. Really cool. Okay. when you have a lead, play a slow play, and I think that covers most of the bases, right? A fast play, a slow play, and some kind of brawling, like to like counter a stack heavy defense, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would say like is really important for for most teams to have, or you think this covers most of the bases?
Play wise or just like anything?
Just like offensive joust wise.
Offensive joust wise, you wanna just back to communication. Honestly, keep the communication. Know what play you're gonna do. Yeah, I think that's really it. Just know what you're gonna do, what play you're running, and if it doesn't work, make sure you let your team know, like, so they need to get back on defense or like where people are.
For sure. Perfect. No, this is really good. I think this answers a lot of questions that the community submissions, like Nolan and Sound System was asking. I think you answered the questions really, really well, and I think it'll really help them. So this is great.
Yeah, thanks. Big thanks to Chewy, and I see some folks. Original VR, Notash joining us. Toki. We got we start at about 8 CST. Actually.
8 Eastern. 8 Eastern.
Yeah,
Pacific West Coast. Get out of here.
5 Pacific. I speak in Pacific time.
That's right.
But anyway, we started with Chewy going over a bunch of Gen Z plays and just like thoughts there, and then we just broke down some plays from what was the team again?
Sound System.
Sound
System. For the last hour, but. Yeah, Nadash, we're working on our social media game. Chewy didn't recruit all of their friends, but we'll keep it working. Original, you'll be able to clip on the VOD, and hopefully we'll be moving some stuff to YouTube once we get the clips rolling.
So. We have some clips. We just got to make sure they look nice before we start. Actually, we have like 20 clips that are like 20 minutes long each, like already set up. I promise you, it will get nice. But other than that, Doc, if there's anything else, I definitely want to give Chewy a chance to plug whatever he wants to plug. Yeah. And then
Yeah, Chewy, is there anything you want to tell the folks about that you're doing, or anybody that you is up to?
Man, not really. Just keep playing the game. Go follow me on TikTok, ChewyStack. That would be greatly appreciated, actually.
Sure. Yeah, we'll link that for sure. So we'll send that out right now.
Sure.
All right.
Another thing I'll say, if you like the Echo Replay Viewer that we've been the tool we use for all this analysis, head on over to echopedia.gg/wiki/replay_viewer. Link is in the chat. It's a super cool tool. It's totally free. It's a community-driven project. Sneaky Evil, I think, originated it. Also, big-time contributors from Zenith, I Blow It Sports, NTS Franz, and some other folks. So it's a super cool player. And also Spark, obviously, ignitevr.gg/Spark. Download that, click save replay files. We were able to walk ChewyStack through it. You got to turn on API settings, but anyway, we're happy to help you, and we gotta put a shout out for you to submit your files to us. If you want to have your replay files analyzed by the Playmakers, then we've got a form for that. And if you need any help, just reach out to us on Discord. But there's the form. TTao just dropped the link to the Discord. TTao, you want to describe the Discord?
Yes, so a few things. One, I have a link over to our Discord if you want to continue this conversation. We have training events and lots of really cool things coming on there. So please join us on Discord and continue the conversation there. And second is we found TikTok for ChewyStack. It is in the chat right now. So love this show. Please check out ChewyStack. Awesome TikTok. And I'm sure you can see some of his drums. We were trying to get his drums, but the mic just wasn't picking up. I apologize, folks.
I would have damned for y'all if I could have.
Yeah, you know what? We will 100% get something later. But yeah, man. Beyond that, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Okay,
good,
this is
good show. Thanks again, Chewy. Thanks for everyone
Yeah,
for
thank you.
joining, for chatting, for vibing with us. And we'll be back next week. We don't have the guest set up just yet, but we will have someone very cool that you will want to see and hang out with. And
You should text this original guy.
What'd you say, Chewy? Say that one more time.
You should text that original guy.
Oh yeah,
Original guy. Yeah. We should. Go ahead, Doc.
Well, original, yeah. Reach out to us. We'd love to chat. And again, anyone who wants their replay files analyzed, we would love to do that. So, big shout out again as well to Viridis Media for giving us a home, to Queen Zyla for helping us with scheduling and such, Gilligan for a lot of support, and other folks for helping out, Sir Dimwee and some other cats, of course, Cool Whip. And last thing, oh right, Lelenthal. Level Up with Lelenthal is coming up right here in about 12 minutes on this channel. I don't know exactly what game she's playing. Let me see if I can check the Discord. It looks like she's going to play No Man's Sky tonight. So check that out. She just games, has fun. There's lots of cool people hanging out. And yeah, so stick around for that. Anything else, TTao, before we want to break?
Oh, this is this is our first attempt with onesies, and we'll definitely be we'll definitely try to spice it up later. I definitely have like the onesie that's like a tuxedo. We'll figure something out. Doc, we'll have to figure out our wardrobe, so I'm sure we can get something going.
Yeah, well, thanks to Chewy for the inspiration, for coming on in the giraffe onesie. I thought it set the right vibe right from the beginning. Yeah, thanks again. So, all right, everybody. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.
Wait.
We'll see you all.
One second. Liz, the developer, wants to shout out them chest hairs.
No. Those chest hairs are for me, and well, actually, Liz, the developer, as well. What's up, Vacant? Good to see you. Thanks for hopping on.
Okay.
Peep the VOD. We'll catch you all later. Check out Lelenthal.
See y'all later. Peace.